The Saints' search for an offensive coordinator continues out here at the Senior Bowl, where Mike Triplett and myself, Nick Underhill, are covering the Saints and everything going on with them. You're watching The Dot, presented by Matt Bowers Auto Group. Just what is your biggest takeaway from day one of the Senior Bowl as it pertains to the Saints?
Well, I mean, we're talking about the offensive coordinator. They're going to try to find players for that new offensive coordinator coach. And actually, Jeff Ireland made a really good point when we talked to him today that that'll help dictate some of their board. They want the traits that are going to suit the offense they're going to run. But that is obviously on hold now. It's the most important thing, and it's why Dennis Allen is not here. He's interviewing Greg Lewis, another new candidate, former NFL receiver, who now comes from the Andy Reid coaching tree. The first time they've sampled the Andy Reid coaching tree. Another great offensive mind that I like adding to that list. But that's the most important thing the organization is doing right now, while the rest of the organization is here looking at guys beginning this draft process.
Yeah, they're still checking off some guys on this list. There's a few other people that they want to talk to. My understanding of the situation, though, is that it's narrowed down and they have a few really strong candidates, guys that they feel good about moving forward with. Now, Greg Lewis is another new name to the mix, so they're still cross-checking that a little bit. But I do think that this thing's going to wrap up at some point. If it doesn't, though, it's because there's reasons for it, and there's league rules based on who you can talk to, when you can talk to them, and what you can do in those situations. So it might be a little bit of wait and see, but I do think they know where they want to go with it. But it was interesting that Ireland said that does matter, but they don't feel like it's holding it up yet because this is just the beginning of the process.
You still have to evaluate and grade all the players before you decide who fits your system.
Absolutely. So that was one thing that kind of stood out a little bit. As far as on the field, our guy Jaquan Jackson was out here today. He did content for us all season long, so it's kind of cool to see him out here. He felt good about how he performed today, and some of these offensive linemen looked really good today too. So I think there's a handful of players that the Saints are going to like coming out of this, and Phil Galliano coach today, so he's going to get a little bit of that insight behind the scenes.
Yeah, a lot more on all this. Jeff Ireland, we got, of course, asked him about Trevor Penning, where he still fits into the future of the offensive line mix, but we're going to do all the sights and sounds, all the things we're hearing. I've heard some good things about a candidate, Clint Kubiak, who I like as a front runner for that job, and maybe would be one who would hold it up since his team's in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, we heard a lot of great stuff today. If you aren't signed up to NewOrleans.Football, make sure you do that, NewOrleans.Football /subscribe. Use the code NOF to save 20% on your first payment.